Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am so excited to be taking you through a little overview of some of my favorite women who are out there killing it. I say women, which maybe makes them sound old, but they're all around the age of like 25 and are making 7 figures. But make sure you hit the thumbs up button. I never say that, but make sure you hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment down below if you've heard of these women before, or you know, if you would like me to continue doing videos like this. Also, this video is sponsored by a data camp, so we will get more into that as we progress. And yeah, so let's get into it. I don't know which foundation to use because I recently got back from holiday and the darkest foundation is not dark enough. So the one thing I love about all of these women, which I think you guys are going to love as well, because you guys would follow me for the same reasons that I would follow them, is my guess. I can relate to all of these women because although I found all of them through YouTube, they were all academics, like academics in the sense of they were like highly educated, went to university, and for all of them, they were gonna go on to be a professional or did go into corporate and become a professional. So the first person that I wanted to talk about is Erin White. I think it's Erin White now because she recently got married. Erin went to Howard University, and from my understanding, like Howard University is a historically black college in the US, and Howard is supposed to be like one of the really good ones, one of the top ones. So like our equivalent of like a Russell Group University. So she went there and she studied broadcast journalism. I think she was hoping to become like a news presenter. When she graduated, I think she won a few competitions. I believe she won a few competitions, and those landed in like sort of work opportunities. So I know one of the ones that she had was she was a some sort of like news presenter with the National Geographic. She mentioned that that was a contract for about a year, and when that was over, she was kind of looking for a new role, and I guess that search perhaps took some time, and so she moved back in with her parents. And when she didn't find anything, she decided to start up YouTube to kind of like share her entrepreneurial journey and her journey to building her business. So when I first started watching her, the business that she was building was like a video production company. So she would basically like make adverts for small businesses. I remember like she went back to her school, maybe like a school or something like that, and she did that. She started YouTube, and I first came across her because I just saw this thumbnail that really like drew me in, and she was just dressed like she was walking through the city, and she looked like she was conquering life. She looked like she was conquering her business. When I started watching her, I was immediately just drawn to, you know, her energy, her vibe, just good vibe. Fast forward to now, sis is definitely making 7 figures, probably multiple 7 figures. She released a video, I think it might have been earlier on this year, where she was with a coach or I think some sort of business coach, and I feel like I remember her mentioning like that she could even make 3 million this year. This is a huge deal because she was earning $30K. And I remember because the video was like how I saved 10K on a $30K salary. So going from that was around 3 years ago to now 3 million, from 30K to 3 million in 3 years is huge. The most craziest thing about it is when I knew she was gonna blow up, she had went from in a year basically making $30 a year, £30,000 a year, $30,000 a year to like 30K in a month. And I was like, oh, this girl's about to go far. So let's get into the income stream. So that is one thing that I really want to focus on in this video. It's not just who these people are, but their income streams. I feel like that can give maybe some of you, some of us, some ideas on like things that we can do that really work, or like how do regular people without massive teams make millions. So what I'm not gonna do is go into the obvious YouTube income streams. So your YouTube AdSense, your sponsorships, your affiliate links, and even speaking in workshops. That is something that almost all YouTubers benefit from. I'm doing my makeup backwards. But as she was building her brand and her business, that was kind of what a lot of her content was centered around. So she did a lot of like initially it was just like, yeah, like books to read when you're starting a business, and then she would show like her daily life and how she was going about building her business, and as she really started to take off on YouTube, and I guess the people who were subscribing saw what I saw, which was just, you know, someone who was real, sharing good content, good energy. I feel like she really started to get into like the business and brand building side of things. It might seem like, okay, but how did you just start YouTube and you just kind of just take off? Like, where's your experience? Where's the background? And one thing she always mentions is that she had been used to being on camera and like building her brand in a sense, because she wanted to be a news presenter beforehand. So all of this didn't come out of nowhere. The income stream that I saw that really like revolutionized her financial status, I guess you could say, was starting a membership club. So she started a membership club called the E-Brand Club. From what I've seen in some of the sessions that she's shown on YouTube, it seems to be like a kind of like a deeper version of her YouTube channel, where she's performing audits of people's social medias or their businesses, and just telling them how they can grow their brand. She's brought on some like special guests. And I've attended one of the sessions with, like, I think her name was Tiffany Achi or something like that, and it was amazing. So I know the club is nothing short of amazing. Watching one of her videos, and she must have said the membership club was $30, which doesn't sound like much, but it's $30 a month. And she had around 700 members. I was like, it sounds impressive and it's amazing. And like from a consumer's point of view, $30 is really like, you know, it's affordable if you really want to build your brand and your business. And the 700 people is obviously a lot of people who are paying, like, you know, that's a lot of paying customers, but it still just didn't really hit like how much that actually is, until I actually just said, I think I must have like been like, oh, maybe to one of my friends or something, like, oh my god, like she's doing this or she's doing that, because I'm always like, the people that I talk about in this video, if you know me in real life, I will always be referring to them because they're just absolutely incredible. And I think I must have mentioned it to someone, and they were like, oh, let me just calculate how much that is, and then they were like, you know, that's 21k a month. And I was like, what? So imagine going from a salary of 30k a year to then 21k a month. And the amazing thing about things like membership clubs is you produce one set of material for everybody. Like 700 people have access to the club, but you're not producing 700 individual pieces of content, or you're not speaking individually to 700 people. Your membership clubs are definitely something to think about, like if you are like looking at income streams. And obviously I doubt I know it probably won't be the most easiest income stream to run, because it's a very active income stream, depending on how much you're promising to deliver to people each and every single month. For sure that a lot has to be done to keep people engaged and make sure that, you know, people are actually enjoying the club, because they're paying you monthly, so you need to deliver monthly. But I feel like this is such a game-changing income stream to have, and another person who I'll be going through also has this income stream, and I feel like that was a big game changer for her as well. I remember that when she started doing this, I don't know if it was before or at the same time, she would also do like these sort of strategy calls. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but I believe it was probably within the range of like maybe like $100 to $300 per hour. I don't know how much you're getting per hour if you're on a 30k a year salary, but I know for sure it's not 100 to 300. I believe that this was happening within like the first year or so of her leaving her role at National Geographic, or at least around the year mark. And I was just like, it was just amazing to see how much somebody can change their life like in a year, to go from 30k a year to a minimum of 21k from a membership club, not to talk about YouTube AdSense, and then to talk about doing strategy calls. Another income stream that she has that I feel like would be really good for us to know about as well, doing courses. So I know she's developing a course right now. I don't think she's said what it is yet, but she also has a course on her website, which I actually showed to my friend yesterday, and she said she's gonna purchase it. So, you know, gotta help your sisters out. It's on how you can leverage a small audience and how you can like make money from having a small audience, and that was $100. And she now has about like 300k subscribers on YouTube. I would bet that, you know, if you market that properly, at least 1% of your audience will buy that course, and that's $100 per course, or $97 per course. And courses again are so good. Like in terms of like passive income streams, courses are great because again, you make them once and you sell them however many times you want to sell them. Any sort of digital resource where you have to create it once and you can sell over and over again, it's like it's the like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's also have an online store where I sell digital resources called the Resource Bank, and I always say that this is one of the best income streams that I've made. One thing that you do have to do with courses or digital resources is, especially if they are on your own platform, is you have to continue to market them. If you put them on a like open market space where the platform itself does the marketing for you, if you put it on like Amazon, or if you put it on like, I don't know, if you put a course on like Skillshare, then you don't obviously have to market it as much to make money from it, because that's what the platform is there for. But on your own platform, you have to keep marketing it, and that's what I have to do with the Resource Bank. So if you don't know, let me plug you right now. So, I don't even know if I've introduced myself, guys. I am a banker. I have been in banking now for a year and a half. I graduated a year and a half ago. The internship at my dream firm, converted that to a full-time role, and I'm still here now. And it's a really hard firm to get into. When I got in, there was a lot of questions from people who also wanted to get into it. So I decided to just create I have a bunch of YouTube videos actually helping people on some tips on getting into banking, but then I also have resources of my own personal intellectual property that I use to get into banking, and I sell those, and we always have so many positive feedback. But let's move on. Another thing that she did as well, which I think is so interesting, because she did this after, I feel like this was after the course and the strategy calls. The strategy calls, I don't feel like they lasted very long, which I completely understand, because service-based product, I just don't feel like they have longevity, because it requires time, and like the only way to scale it, like if you're doing coaching, or you know, like when I used to do like interview practices with people and stuff like that, or going over their CV, the only way to scale it is to continue to charge more and more and more and more, and then at some point, like, you just don't feel like doing it. It's like a burden. But then, like, yeah, so I feel like a lot of people that I've seen, and I'll go into more people who have done this, it never really lasts, because it's just, I feel like it just takes a lot of time, and you realize you have things like a courses or a club that makes infinitely more and requires infinitely less of your time. The thing about YouTube is, when you build an audience, you will always indirectly or directly know about that audience's needs, because they will tell you. It's either they'll ask you to continue to make videos on certain things, or they will comment on certain things that you do, and that will always then provide you with an opportunity to start something. That is how the Resource Bank came about. And so with her, she would do this like top 3. She had this top 3 whiteboard that she would do in her vlogs, to just like come up with the top 3 things that she wanted to do that day. And people loved it so much, and people would say that they were doing it, and she saw an opportunity to create a digital product, and that's what Sis did. Okay, so she also has physical products, that's physical products, digital products, courses, membership club, and that is the income streams that we know, excluding all the obvious YouTube income streams as well. And that is how Sis is making 7 figures, okay, in 3 years, or probably, I think she probably even done it in 2 years. 30k to 7 figures. So next up is Vanessa Lao. She is based in Canada, and she again is just like us, okay, just like us girls. She was a smart girl. I don't know what school she went to in Canada, because I don't really know the schools in Canada. I feel like she either studied something related to business or went to business school, did really well. And at her business school, she mentioned that one of the top corporate places that people wanted to work after graduating from business school was L'Oreal, and that was also one of her dream places to go to, I guess, be a business analyst or whatever it is that they do there. And she worked really hard and she got it. If I do my makeup backwards, why am I doing contour now? But it's okay. So yeah, so she got into L'Oreal, and she started working there, but then I believe she realized super quickly there was just something that wasn't quite fulfilling her about the child. And she mentioned that just not feeling fulfilled by what she was doing. And then she mentioned that she thought that maybe it was just because she wasn't getting enough responsibility, or that it was the team that she was on. And so she managed to like work her way into moving to a new team and get into a position with more responsibility, but she still kind of felt that, like, oh my God. She still felt that, it just wasn't fulfilling for her. So I believe at the time, while she was still at L'Oreal, she started YouTube, and she was doing a lot of like self-improvement type of content, and I think she was also on Instagram as well, but doing more like beauty related videos. And she eventually quit her job at L'Oreal. I believe this was after about like 2 years. So that is like, damn, like, but the thing is, like, I just admire that so much, because the type of person, most people, even if they were feeling dissatisfied, would just stay, because it's like, what would you would be thinking? I mean, I would be thinking like, what would my colleagues think? Like if I just went, you know, ended up working somewhere, and then I'm now like working in a coffee shop and probably serving the people that I was just working with, not because I got fired or because I was incompetent, because I personally just didn't want to work there anymore. Like that is like, for someone to do something like that, like major respect to them, because pride would not let a lot of people do that, myself included. She started, I guess, focusing more on the social media side of things, and she started making self-improvement videos on YouTube, and just, I guess, niching down and just taking her brand and her social media stuff more seriously. Focusing on her social media, she started to see the growth, and she was kind of, I guess, blowing up on Instagram. I say I guess because I wasn't following her at this time, but then she did a video that was like, how, I think it was maybe to do like something like how to grow on Instagram, or this sort of like growth and brand sort of content, and that absolutely blew up. Like I think that is her most viewed video till today. I believe that might like 6.5 million views. She is now a multiple 7-figure business owner, multiple 7 figures, and she made at one time she made $1 million in 5 months. Just 5 months, made $1 million. So let's get into it. So for her, again, we're not going to go into all the obvious YouTube streams, but for her, I only really know of one main way that she makes money, and that is through her coaching program called the Boss Gram Academy. The course is like $1,000 per thingy, $1,000 per person. I know that I was watching a review yesterday, and the guy was saying like there are over 65 different videos on there to teach coaches how to be a coach and how to make money on social media and start their own coaching business. And like $1,000 might seem like a lot, but when you are helping people make money and it has a value of way more than $1,000 over their lifetime, that's not a lot of money. Like in the context of what I'm guessing she would hope that people would make. I've seen some of the testimonials, and after a month, people have, you know, made 10K from their coaching business, 5K from their coaching business. 1K is not a lot. It's like I say all the time with the resource bank, like the resources are not expensive. For you to land a job that is now like starting at around 70K starting salary fresh out of university, and you're paying £50 for a PDF that has a CV, that has cover letters, has interview questions and answers, it's not a lot. Like it's not a lot compared to what you'll be earning. So girl don't have no glue, and I only have one set of eyelashes right now from Lashed by V, but I've used it too many times. I need to clean it, and I'm not going to clean it. So today we are not doing any lashes, okay? Natural. One of her managers from L'Oreal also quit and took her course and is now a coach. I think she's like a career coach. Imagine like someone who is at least 10-15 years older than you, that used to be your manager, is now quitting their job to take your course and started a new career that is like that you have helped to create because you took a bet on yourself. It's just like, it's just crazy to me. I was just like, wow, like that is amazing. Like just so happy for her that she took the bet on herself. And like imagine the mindset you would have been in when you were working in a coffee shop, like to now. Like it's just amazing. But let's move on to the next person, and this is one of my faves. Okay, I speak about her all the time. Oh, and guys, I can actually tell you guys a story. So this person is Lavish Ruby. She is the youngest of them all, and I think she's probably on her way to at least 10 mil a year. I did buy a course. It was called the 6-figure something course earlier on this year. Wow, look at that. And I made 6 figures this year. I bought a course called the 6-figure summit earlier on this year because both her and Erin were actually speakers on that course, and I did both of their seminars, and I know that Ruby was projecting that she was going to make 10 million, I believe, this year. So, and sis does not miss. So story was, I don't know what she posted recently. She's always doing amazing stuff. I must have just reposted it and just said that like, is so crazy because I've seen her journey go from like a uni student to then like probably on like maybe like four figures or 5 figures, and then see her go to 6 figures, and then see her go to 7 figures, and probably now 8 figures. It was just like, I think I posted something to that respect on Instagram, and she reposted it, like as you would repost, like I repost people who like might tag me. But then she said that when she went on YouTube, one of my videos popped up, and she was like, she sent me the screenshot, and then she followed me. So it's a fun fact, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. You just respect someone so much, and it's like, wow, you want to follow me? Oh my god. Anyways, let's get into her story. So she is from like the New York area, and she was a pre-med student. I think she studied something like biomedicine or biotechnology or bio something. Her track to becoming a doctor. You know, in the US, I feel like they do things a bit differently, where like even like with law school, you have to go after you've done your first degree. She was a pre-med student, but she also used to do basketball, like college basketball, and so because of that, she couldn't get a part-time job because I guess it was really time consuming. So she would come up with all of these creative ways to make money. Like if you go and watch her videos from like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, she started YouTube. I don't know in what order, but I know she saw the opportunity to start businesses, and so she started a sunglasses business. She was doing selling hair bundles. She was making wigs. I feel like she was even selling eyelashes at one point. If you guys go and watch her vlogs, all the women that I've mentioned in this video, go back and watch their videos from the start. Don't just watch the videos from when they made it, because you need to see like how they were hustling and grinding before everything happened. But one thing that I've learned from her, she would start businesses to make a little bit of money and use that to actually start like a proper, like another businesses. Like, and the point that I'm trying to get at is not everything that you start needs to be what you want to be known for. You can literally just do something because you know it's going to make money, and then take that money and build something that you probably do want to be known for, or that you do want to build into a bigger brand and establish as part of you. Hair is one of the main ones. Yes, hair is overly saturated, and we all know somebody who has a hair business or sells bundles, especially as black women. But it's so popular because it's always like, it's easy to be profitable. We're always buying hair, and we all know that AliExpress, you go there, you get it for cheap, and you can resell it for as much as you want. Like the formula works. And so yeah, you might be like, oh my god, I don't want to sell hair as my thing, but just because you know that it works and it's profitable, you can use that to build a cash flow to do something else. And that's definitely what she did. So she had all of these smaller businesses, and then eventually she used that money to start a planner business. But again, this stuff doesn't just come out of nowhere. One of the things that she was doing is she was making like bullet journal videos, and people would always underneath there like comment for her to make more. And I guess eventually, probably for her and for the people who would ask her to make it, she was probably like, why don't I just make an actual planner that we can all just use, and you guys don't have to like see me do this like extensive process and then repeat it yourself. You can just purchase the planner. And so she put down 10k to start this planner business, and that business absolutely like, that was one of her first businesses to really skyrocket. I remember like she would do vlogs where she was just on campus, and she would see just a random person that she didn't even know, like just using her planner. She has some income streams videos on her channel. Tis has like 10 income streams. I don't get it. No one I have seen hustles like her. I think she was maybe about like 20, 21, and she had a 6-figure planner business on her hands, alongside a multitude of other streams of income. Like I know she used to do drop shipping as well. Like I was really waiting for her to release a course on that. Guys, go watch her multiple streams of income video. And I know that right now she probably has double that amount. And she graduated university, already had a 6-figure business, and decided that she wasn't gonna go straight into medical school, and that she was just gonna, I guess, take a gap year for a year. And then during this time, she started doing similar to what we were talking about with Erin, where she started doing like coaching calls, teaching people on like business, I think maybe like business and brand, and also doing like small scale Forex mentoring. So I know some people are already like, Forex, but this was on a small scale, just teaching people how they can trade, not like a recruiting scheme or anything like that. While she was at uni, she would mention like paying thousands of pounds like to learn from different people. I guess by the time she left, she had mastered it to some degree and decided that if other people were interested, then why can't she teach them as well for a much cheaper price than what she paid. The thing that she used to do as well was speaking. Was like that was quite a big part of her income stream as well, because again, she was a very successful student. I think she graduated with like a 3.9 GPA whilst having like 10 income streams as well, and you know, was on track to becoming a doctor. And so she took a gap year and she started doing, you know, a lot of different things. Speaking was one of them, but then the pandemic hit and she mentioned that, you know, a lot of the stuff that she would do, they had all fallen away because there was a lot of uncertainty, you know, in that time of 2020. So then she decided to build up her forays into more of like a formal course, like not just a personal, you know, one-to-one thing, but actually build out a course that loads of people could take. And it blew all the way up so that she started it in March 2020, or around that period of like when COVID was at its height. By the end of the year, sis had made $1 million. And the structure of that was also, seems to me quite similar to like a membership club, but a little bit different, because it was like there was like a, I know, because she would describe it, obviously I can't do this, I don't think I can do this stuff because of work. Like I can barely trade stocks and shares without having to clear all of them and use specific brokers and stuff like that. So I never really took part in any of this, so I don't know for sure, but from what she would describe in her YouTube channel, there was like a 3 stages of like actually learning how to trade, and then you can, and that was maybe like, I think at the time maybe like around 300 to like 500 to just learn how to trade and go through those different levels. And then you could join a membership subscription, which would then give you like monthly like trading signals and stuff. And she would always emphasize that this isn't like the multi-level marketing, which I think is what most people think of when we think of trading, which is these people that have probably contacted you as well, and it's like, oh, do you want another stream of income? I don't know how many millions she's made from it, but I know it's millions. And yeah, and now like she's not really on social media anymore. She's always says that she's gonna come back, but she don't, and I don't blame her, because to be honest, like when you make money like that, social media isn't always the nicest place for you. And the thing with membership club is that recurring revenue, like you onboard people once, but the thing with courses is you have to keep selling them to different people. But if you have like a membership club or a subscription or a SaaS type business where you onboard people and they consistently pay monthly, that just seems like, to me, that seems like a big game changer for a lot of people, where you don't have to consistently have to do new marketing all the time. But I am so proud of Ruby. I love her. I love all of these 3 women. They're all like around the ages of 25 or like between 24 and 27, and they're just killing it. And like when you watch them, like they're nice. They seem like nice people with nice personalities, genuine. I feel like I can relate to them. They're not people like Bill Gates, who was like, you know, yeah, like doing coding computers or creating sites when they were like 7 and stuff like that. Like these seem like hard workers, but still like just your normal everyday Black or minority women who are killing it. So shout out to them. On the topic of like, you know, educational platform, one of the things that I always wish that I'd done whilst I was at uni was some sort of coding or some sort of data skills, because those are skills that are booming right now, like in every job, and jobs that are going to be here in the future. That is a component of it. And Data Camp is one of those amazing places that you can learn how to code. You can learn how to code in Python, you can learn how to code in R, but you can also have other skills such as like data visualization with Tableau. I never thought that I would see that. LSE forced us to do it. So I studied at the London School of Economics, and then we have this course called LSE 100, which is supposed to make LSE students more well-rounded. Like I feel like social science students are typically very well-rounded anyways, but it's supposed to make us more well-rounded. And one of the things we had to use was Tableau. And at the time I was just like, this is just something that I have to do, doesn't even add to my grade. And I wish I took that a bit more seriously as well, because I'm seeing that crop up everywhere. And those are one of the courses that you could do on Data Camp as well. You know, Data Camp is essentially an online learning platform that makes acquiring data skills easier and more convenient for everyone. And they have courses for all different levels. So if you're a newbie, if you're a pro, also have a free assessment that you can take that will make recommendations for personalized learning or courses that you can actually do. So if you want to become data fluent, if you are trying to increase your employability skills, if you are trying to prepare for the future, would probably definitely want to check out Data Camp. And for my subscribers, there is a link in my description box that will give you the first chapter of any course that you decide. So in case you're not sure, you just want to try out like the first chapter, you'll be able to get that for free. So definitely take advantage of that. Guys, let me know if you guys enjoyed this style of video. We'll tag their YouTube channels down below so you guys can find out who they are. Oh, and don't forget, if you are preparing for 2020, the digital life planner might just be what you're looking for. Make sure you are following me on my Instagram. I'll be sharing loads of little insights into the digital life planner. But yeah, for now, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.